It's Uncle Martin going live. Uh, and I got this guy again. I guess I gotta give him a treat. He's my rescue lightning, and I don't know if he deserves one. I don't know if he really deserves. I think he does. Yeah, he got one. I'm not a mean person. I like to give my dogs treats, as anybody should give their dog treats. Okay, so what we have here is a couple of people saying hello. Excuse me. Oh, my bottoms fell out. Hey, Pikachucha. Pikachu. Hello. Ryan, hello. Pikachu, you have a cute dog. Well, thank you. Uh, Pikachu. I like that. And we got a thumbnail. A true story. Another true story from Uncle Martin. Hey, by the way, if I'm melting in front of your eyes, it's hot. No. It's kind of warm in Arizona, so let me know if I'm doing okay, because I have melted on the screen, and until we get out of the summer heat. Let me know. Audio, visual, please. I hate to redo things after I get people watching me, but I like to be a perfect. I'm not. I don't want to be a perfectionist, but forget about it. A thumbnail. What is the thumbnail? The thumbnail is who who is your brother? Now, I got one sibling, my brother, and I've asked myself that question many times. Now, you could have a brother that isn't even blood related, more of a brother than your own brother. Like my cousin Jim, I'd have to say he'd be a brother if I didn't. He's a cousin, but he's my brother. That kind of guy. Where you have people in your family or friends that are closer to you than your own siblings, is what I'm saying. And that is the story that I have for you. Thumbnail. Who is your brother? Okay. Pikachu, you have a cute dog. Well, thank you. I think he's cute too. You didn't see the other guy. He's Skippy. He's hanging out somewhere. He's a fluff ball, dirty fluff ball. Okay, so let's start the show on the road. I'm in New Jersey. I'm on the railroad. I am. I get a proposition from a good buddy of mine who I haven't seen forever. That's why I'm going to say his whole name. If he ever comes across this, Joe Albee. Now, he was a crazy kid. There was a family of, I believe, it was 8 when he was, but I think they had 12 kids. But as he was growing up and he was younger, he was so wild. You know what they had to do? They had to tie him to a tree. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Well, if you get that, now they give you Ritalin or some kind of pill. They just tied Joey to a tree. He turned out okay. My point being, his girlfriend and him said to me, "Hey, you know what? You're on the railroad. You can take off forever. You can take off. You only have to work 1 day a month, and you keep your seniority. Why don't you come with us?" Joe Albee is going into the Army in 1975. It was in May. And he's going to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Oh, I had never been to North Carolina. And then I found out later that Fayetteville had the highest rapes and murders in 1975. But I didn't know that at the time. It was hindsight. Needless to say, this is the deal they gave me. All you have to do is take a ride with us, and it's only like 538 miles from your house to where we're going. And we'll give you a ride there, and all you have to do is hitchhike back. I said, well, you know what? That sounds like something I would like to do. So it only took about 7 hours from my house to Fayetteville, North Carolina. It was Fort Bragg, by the way, if anybody knows where Fort Bragg is. Who else we got here? Hey guys. And so I get there, and at the house that he's going to be at, there's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 girls. All right. Not bad looking girls, by the way, but they all said, "Hey, you finally made it. Let's go to the beach." And I'm down for the beach, man. Anytime you want to say, "Hey, I, I love the water." And there was no real beach around Fort Bragg, so we had to go to, I believe we went to the next waterway where the beach they wanted to go was Myrtle Beach. And I'm going to make this much quicker because I've already done this on, hitchhiking. So I'm going to bypass a lot of stuff here so I can get to the point of who is your brother. So we went to Myrtle Beach, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't very positive. I had third-degree burns. The girls fixed me up when we got back home. They did put apple cider vinegar on me, which by the way will take care of any burns. So somebody wants get a bad sunburn, you put apple cider vinegar on there, or from my own experience, you can also put. Come on up here, buddy. Come on, come on. That's my other guy. He's Skippy. Skippy is he's a rescue. I saved him from getting run over. Well, actually, someone else saved him from getting run over, but I took him in. I had to. Okay, so where the heck was I on this story? I was fixed up by all these girls with apple cider vinegar, and what I was saying is, if you don't have apple cider vinegar, get extra virgin coconut oil. It'll do the same thing for you. You won't. It'll get rid of the sting. You won't peel the next day. Right here, I have tons of aloe vera. Aloe vera will help you. I've had third-degree burns where it saved my. I tell you, man, I got a story for you on third-degree burns with my hand that is perfectly okay now. I've mentioned this in the past. I will have pictures for you of being healed within 7 days with aloe vera. Sunburn, it'll make you peel. So that's why I say go to apple cider vinegar or go to extra virgin coconut oil, which coconut oil kills all bacteria. So you have any wooden spoons, whatever's wooden, has bacteria in it. You roll around extra virgin coconut oil, and it kills all bacteria, a lot of viruses. I'll go into that another time. I'm just not trying to stray from the story. Where the heck am I? Yes, I bypass a lot of stuff here on this one. I'm ready to go home. The whole weekend, I had a great time other than the third degree sunburn. Now I have to hitchhike back home, which is 538 miles. And I'm thinking, you know what? My brother, who is your brother? Well, I had one. And I said, well, what the heck? He's in the Army. My bro's in the Army, and he's at Naval Station North Fork. Well, heck, I looked that up, and it's only like 238 miles. 238 miles is nothing. It takes about 3 hours if you have a car. Could take longer if you're hitchhiking. But I was positive. I was a positive thinker, and I said, hey, it's only 238 miles. I think I'll go over there to see how my brother's doing. So I get there, and it was really short. It was like 4 hours. It took 4 hours to get there. It was amazing how you can get places hitchhiking, which I do not suggest anybody do this because it's very dangerous. There's statistics showing in 2012, well, they're saying in 2012 there's only 1% that people get hurt. Yeah, I don't think that's quite correct. And I believe it was 53% have been robbed. Robberies were 53% when you pick up a hitchhiker. I can't go into all of that because I don't have time for that. I'm just trying to get through this. Who is your brother? So I get on the Naval Station North Fork base. It's one of the biggest ones in the United States for holding ships and everything. And I'm thinking in my mind, my brother's in the Army. What is he doing on a ship? What is he doing in the Naval? I don't know. So I get on, I go up to the base. I go up to the guard station. I said, yeah, I'd like to come in. He says, hey, Dave, what are you doing with that wig? I said, yeah, it's just something I put on. He says, get out of here. So the guy, my bro, we look a lot alike. So I had hair a bit longer down. I mean, it looked like probably a wig. I don't know. This is not a wig. This is my real hair. It always has been. So I get on the base. I'm through the guard shack. To get on, I don't know where I'm going. And a bunch of black guys on a big van, they stop and say, hey, Dave, where'd you get that wig? I said, oh, no, they said, hey, cat, where'd you get that wig? I said, hey, dog, it's just something I put on. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back to where I belong. They said, get out of here. So they gave me a ride to my brother's ship, which he's in the Army. It still behooves me. So I get on the ship, and I get, there's nobody there except this one guy. He's a E8. Do you know what an E8 is? You look it up. They're nobody. You E8s, I'm not saying you're nobody. But I'm playing Frisbee. I had a Frisbee with me. So I'm playing Frisbee, I don't know, close to 8 hours with this joker. On the ship. I'm skipping it. It never went off the ship. It was a big ship. So my bro shows up about 8 hours later. He says, hey, Mark, what are you doing here? I said, hey, bro, I was in the vicinity. I thought I'd stop by. He says, hey, let's go out for pizza. I said, hey, that sounds positive. So we went out, we drove in his car to go get pizza. We had a big pizza. Had a couple pitchers of beer. We go back to the ship. What does bro do? He goes, opens the refrigerator, and there's like ham, turkey, all this stuff in the refrigerator. He makes a big sandwich. Well, I wasn't hungry anyway, but the other guy, the E1 guy, he was really very upset that bro's eating a lot of the food. I don't know how it works in the Army or Navy or whatever. I thought everybody shared, but maybe he was eating somebody else's food. I never thought about it. So it's about midnight. So bro goes over and gets in his bunk, and there's nobody in the whole ship except bro, E1, and me. Now, I go and pick another bunk. I'm laying down. I maybe slept maybe 10 minutes. E1 is waking me up. Hey, you don't belong here. You're not part of the crew. It's against regulations. I said, there's nobody here. It's against regulations. I said, okay, no problem. So I look at my bro. Bro's up. He's smiling. I said, because our family, when I grew up, bro, dad, and mom, and we can go into a party. We can go into a room. We could just, we look at each other, and we had telepathic awareness. We all do, but more families have more than others. So we would not say anything. People would say, why aren't you guys talking? But we'd look across at we knew what we were saying to each other, that kind of stuff. So bro and I are looking at each other, and I said, hey, bro, give me, I went, And bro looks at me and says, he laughs. Really ticked me. A bolt of lightning went through me. Bro is not giving me his keys to sleep in his car. What are you going to do? At midnight, I said, I'm going home. At midnight, I had like from there to home, it was like 348 miles. I didn't know that until later. Well, we got helicopters going over. I hope they're friendly. Yeah, it sounds like the police. Yeah, they are the police. I know, because there's the police, and then there's the National Guard. I prefer the National Guard. So I say to bro, and I say to E1, I said, I'm going home. Bro looks at me and said, midnight, 348 miles to my house. Bro goes, so I'm on the base and I'm hitchhiking out. And who picks me up? An E8. You know what an E8 is? It's a lot higher than an E1. An E8, he's a black fellow. Really nice guy. And he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going back home to Jersey. He says, no, man, you can't do that. I said, well, why not? He said, because you're going to be taking I-95 home. I said, yes, I am. He says, well, for the last 2 weeks, during the full moon, they've been shooting people with long hair. And that's what I didn't tell you before. In 1975, when you go back to hitchhiking, I was at Myrtle Beach under a full moon eclipse in May of 1975. That's why I fell asleep on the beach and got third-degree burns. But it's still like a full moon, and people are getting shot for the last 2 weeks. He says, no, I don't want you to do that. I don't feel safe with you doing that. I'm going into town. I'm going to stay about a day or two. I'm off. I'm going to stay a couple days. You spend the night at my place. I'll bring you to the barracks. I got my whole new room for you. Sleep in my bed, sleep on the couch. I don't care. And then in the morning, you go out and hitchhike. I said, man, that's really nice of you. It's mighty nice of you. But no, I am going home now. So I get out, he drops me off on I-95, and I ended up going 20 miles the wrong way. And I got picked up by, it was rather negative, but I worked through it okay. The whole story is, I got out of the car okay, got across the bridge, and now it's about sunrise where I have to go home. So I had two really bad rides. It was like 20 miles. I have to go 348, actually it was over 350 miles because I went the wrong direction for a while. So now I have to go over 350 miles back to my house. Now, the point I'm saying is, the first two rides were really, really negative. The first one was a psychopath, which I could probably go into it at another time. The second one was the guy got me off of 95 and he dropped me on a side road where I ended up with a bunch of cops that wanted to give me a haircut and stuff, but I can't go there. It's under hitchhiking. If you ever go to that one, that's fine. I don't care, but I'm not gonna go through that story again. I can't do it. I want to get through this to where everybody understands about who is your brother. It gets better. Just bear with me. Anybody so far, give me a thumbs up or down, all right? I don't care which one. So, the third ride, I'm about 300 miles from my house. The third ride, a girl picks me up. And she says, Where are you going? I said, I'm going to New Jersey. She says, oh, I live upper state New York. I said, hey, that's pretty cool. You should be going through. Well, she says, it's out of my way where you live, but I'll give you a ride to your house. So that's fantastic. It's an apartment. She said. So we go right to my house. It was like normally let's say 300 miles, about whatever the. It didn't take me weeks, days or weeks. I was there with. It was fantastic. The angels were with me, as I'm saying, which they can be with everyone when you think about your angels, that's all. So she takes me to my house, my apartment, which I have open. I've always left my house open, wherever I am, because I have no fear. The more fear you have, the more things will be taken from you. This is a law. Can't go there either. So we open up the door. And she's like through the door before I am. And she's going up the stairs. She says, hey, do you have a cat? And I still haven't closed the door yet. I said, no, I don't have a cat. So as I'm following her behind her, up the stairs, there's cat poo. There's cat poo up the stairs. And she says, you sure you don't have a cat? I said, no, I don't have a cat. And as we get up this, can you hear that helicopter? Is it something I'm saying? Have they found Uncle Martin? Well, I'm sure not. Maybe they're looking for somebody else. So we get up the stairs. There's cat poo everywhere. Obviously, there's cat poo on the stairs. As I open up my cabinets of my kitchen, there's cat poo all over the kitchen. There's cat poo on the windowsill, on all 3 sets of my china. How did a cat get in my cabinet and pooing on my china is what I'm asking. And then I also asked, because I had 8-foot pool table. This is when I had, it's under women, and money, because that's going to make you happy. So I had to have an 8-foot pool table up in my living room. And all over my pool table was cat poo. I also had to have the best television. At that time in 1975, all you had was a 25-inch television. And if it was color, oh boy, were you rich. So I had cat poo all over my 25-inch television set. I had it on my $600 spindle bed. It was big money back then. Had it all over my master bedroom. Had it all over the bathroom. Had it all over, obviously, the kitchen and in the hallway. And then all of a sudden I hear, meow, meow. There's a cat in my apartment. Well, about that point, she says, what is this? And she picks up an empty bag of 10 pounds of dry cat food. Oh, imagine that. I'm thinking my mind, I'm saying, how could this possibly happen? And on my pool table, I missed it because it was a small little yellow sticky note. Guess it was from Bro. Bro says, I was here for the weekend. We had a little party. You weren't here. Sorry you missed it. By the way, I left you a cat. Imagine that. Now, we were brought up, never give an animal, never give a cat, a dog, any animal to a person without asking them or their family if they would like this animal. We were brought up that way, but apparently Mom said this to us and Bro must have forgot about it. He had a stray cat. He gave it to his brother. His brother, who was visiting him while he was partying it up at my apartment with all my friends. The cops had been there twice. Never mentioned that either. As we were out for pizza and beer, never mentioned that he had been at my house partying with my friends and left me a cat with no cat box? Who is your brother? Is my question. Or your sister. Could happen to sisters. I just wanted to throw that little happy little story out there that you have relatives that maybe, well, you obviously have karma to work out. And I think Bro and I have worked that out by now. But you got to wonder sometimes, which is my point also. When we come into this planet and we have things to work out, which we all do, the most people we have things to work out with is our family. Our family is the one, our blood family, is the ones we have to work out the most with because we have the most karma to work out with them. So some of these families I look at and they're all lovey-dovey, holding each other, kissing each other, having a great time. I mean, yeah. And then I see other families that are not doing that. Our family was pretty much, well, Bro and I were always at each other's throats. There was no way out of that. But we've worked that out since then. Obviously, you can see how that could happen with a story like this. Who is your brother? And if you can work it out with your family this time around, you will never have to come back with them again. And we knew this. I knew this when I was 15 years of experience. I had a heads up. Not everybody does. So if you have people in your family, you know, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, these kind of people that one or many that you would not even allow in your bed, let alone on a couch, you would just as soon have a homeless person come in and sleep on the couch or your bed than that relative, blood relative that you would have. So that means, you know what that means? That means you have more things to work out with that person that you would not allow than to sleep on your bed or your couch. Yeah, just something to think about. Okay, this copter's finally left. I wonder if it's something I said. I hope not. So until we see each other again, it's going to be, man, it's Thursday, right? The 28th. I'm guessing it's the 28th on Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll do the best I can to get out here for you between 5 and 5:30. You have any friends? Share this with them. If you go back to any of my over 500 videos, you'll see Uncle Martin is green. Green meaning I have never edited anything. So everything you would ever see from Uncle Martin has always been live. Even though this is really live. Live. And I don't know. You guys have been fantastic. Again, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't get any of your questions right now. And there's a CJ, King CJ. Yesterday you asked me about a dream you had to do with the marine life friends and me being involved. I have not had time to really look at that video yet. It was yesterday. But I'll have, you did send me something on Ubi. I did a short, I think, yesterday on Ubi. It's a dog. It's the standard Labradoodle. And it's a real short one. And you gave me a question on when was I going live and all that stuff. I'll have an answer for you on that one. I'm going to look at that last video yesterday so I can give you a true diagnosis of that dream that you had. I was somewhat involved in it, so I guess I got to really look into it. There's so many symbologies in dreams. That's why. Anybody else have a dream out there that you might think of? What does it mean? What could it possibly mean? It's going to be literal, or it's going to be spiritual, or even to where it's going to be symbolic. All right, we get a lot of symbolic dreams. The literal ones I love because that's what I get now. I dream When I dream, it happens for me that day. That when I wake up, it's happening for me that day. And it can happen for you that way also. And you can also be able to diagnose them. Again, I believe in my other episodes, it's under dreams and diagnosing dreams. Yeah. So if you want to look up something like that, whenever you have time, it's up to you. So until we see each other again, hopefully it will be tomorrow on Friday. If not, it will be Saturday, definitely Sunday. Until then, be well. God victory. Please give me a thumbs up or down. I really appreciate it. Until then, everybody here, I don't know where Skippy is. We say, be well. God victory.